Assalamu alaikum students. I hope you are doing well. Today we'll be talking about reducing prejudice and discrimination. इससे पहले पिछले लेक्चर को रिव्यू करते हैं. As you would have remembered that previously we discussed social sources that could contribute to prejudice and discrimination. We talked about basically three kinds of social sources which could lead to prejudice and discriminatory behavior. First was unequal status, second was social identity, and the third was social competitions or intergroup competitions. As far as social inequalities are concerned, there could be several possible reasons why people would be considered unequal from each other. And you can understand that prejudice is well expected when people are not like each other. एक तो वैसे भी perception होती है कि we think always that the outgroup members are not like us, they are different from us. लेकिन उसकी बेसिस जैसे हमने पिछली दफा डिस्कस किया था कि उसकी बेसिस तो कैटेगराइजेशन होती है विच इज आल्सो एसेंशियल टू लुक आवर वर्ल्ड इन एन ऑर्गेनाइज्ड वे. तो बात ये हो रही थी कि लोग जो हैं वो डिफरेंट कैटेगरीज में डिवाइड हो जाते हैं और उसकी वजह से उनमें इन ग्रुप और आउट ग्रुप का फिनोमेना पैदा होता है. एंड देयर कुड बी सेवरल इनइक्वालिटी रीजंस व्हिच मेक देम डिफरेंट फ्रॉम ईच अदर. सो देयर कुड बी सेवरल सोर्सेज व्हिच कुड बी आइडेंटिफाइड as the main factors which could lead to unequal statuses between people. One of them is unequal status as far as social class is concerned. History of mankind has shown that wherever there were slavery, there was more prejudice and discriminatory behavior. और slavery वहीं पर होगी वहाँ पे जहाँ पे unequal status होगा, where wealthy people could purchase other people on the basis of their wealth. इसके अलावा हमने religious affiliation का भी जिक्र किया था. As far as religious ideology is concerned, ideally all religions stress on justice and equality. लेकिन उसके बावजूद ये देखा गया है कि the people who are having high religious affiliation, who are strongly religious, they are higher in prejudice and discrimination also. Then studies were also held on extrinsically and intrinsically religious people. Initial studies showed that people who are intrinsically religious, they show less prejudice and discriminatory behavior. लेकिन बाद वाली studies ने ये show किया कि ये सिर्फ जो finding है वो महदूद है उन studies तक which has used questionnaire as the basic methodology of collecting data. Because of the social desirability factor, maybe there were the differences they were found between extrinsically and intrinsically religious people. So later studies showed that if you observe intrinsically people, they are not different in their prejudice and discriminatory behavior from the extrinsically religious people. The third dimension of inequality is actually not the unequal status, but it is the feeling that people are unequal. I'm referring to stereotype threat. People think that other people perceive them negatively because of their stereotypes, and that affects their performance, and we saw that in a number of studies in the previous lecture. Then we also talked about social identity. Social identity, बड़ी दफा इसकी बात हो चुकी है कि we develop a social identity because we have been categorized into different groups. और social identity जो है, that is a very important part of our self-concept. और remember हमारा self concept जो है that is a personal identity and that is having a social identity also. Tedeschi states that when you develop a social identity, then it serves a number of functions for you. It can boost your self-esteem because your self-esteem is also related with the social esteem of your group. Then we also talked about the minimal group paradigm. Minimal group paradigm states that if you are divided into groups just on arbitrary basis, even then the phenomena of in-group and out-group is created and people start behaving differently toward members of other groups and their own groups. और हमने बहुत सारी studies का जिक्र किया था which have provided evidence in the same direction. Then we also talked at the end about intergroup competitions. और इसमें हमने एक बड़ी interesting study का जिक्र किया था which was conducted by Sheriff and his colleagues. In that study, we saw that people develop intergroup conflicts if they are indulged in intergroup competitions, and especially if the sources are scarce. and they are fighting for achieving those sources, then intergroup conflicts are created. And intergroup conflicts, we saw in the previous lecture, can transform people from very well adjusted to very competitive and hostile people. And then we also talked that how could these conflicts could be reduced. So researchers tried that people should have a contact with each other, and perhaps in that way they could reduce their conflicts, but that was obviously just a futile attempt because it did not make any difference. Then what did researchers do? आपको याद होगा कि then they talked about superordinate goals. Superordinate goals कौन सी हैं? When people work together to achieve shared and mutual goals. और जब उनके लिए मिलकर वो एक्टिविटीज करते हैं, then there is a chance that there shall be some reduction in prejudice and discriminatory behavior. तो ये तो था पिछले लेक्चर का रिव्यू. आज हम बात करते हैं कि कैसे हम prejudice और discrimination को कम कर सकते हैं. So today we'll be talking about different prospects about reducing prejudice and discrimination. Basically, there are two kinds of hypotheses that have been presented to reduce intergroup conflicts and prejudice and discrimination. One of them is called contact hypothesis. Contact hypothesis is actually, you could say that it is group based, क्योंकि group का group से contact होगा, लोगों के साथ contact होगा, तो there is a chance that there will be a reduction in prejudice. Second is recategorization of people. हमने ये पिछले लेक्चर में डिस्कस किया था कि when you divide people into different categories, then it provides a basis for prejudice and discrimination. अब categorization हो चुकी है, then your task is to recategorize people into two kinds of categories. एक category है combination and the other is subtypes and individual uniqueness. Combination से मुराद ये है कि जो categories बन चुकी हैं, you merge them into one group. आप आउट ग्रुप्स का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है उसको एक ही इन ग्रुप में तब्दील करते हैं. So you combine different categories into one group. And the second one is you divide those categories, ये जो ग्रुप इन ग्रुप और आउट ग्रुप बन चुके हैं, into further groups. सब टाइप्स ऑफ ग्रुप्स आर मे बी कि आप एक इंडिविजुअल पर मुश्तमिल भी एक ग्रुप बना दें. तो यूजुअली जो है ये जो कैटेगराइजेशन और रिकैटेगराइजेशन है, that is considered an individual approach. In that sense, that a person has to think rationally to change his thinking. Let's first talk about the contact hypothesis. Studies have shown that if there is a contact between members of different social groups, under appropriate conditions, it can lead to reduction in intergroup bias. And that theory was actually presented by Alpert in 1954, and later some work was done by Amir in 1969 on the same theory. So contact hypothesis maintains that if people are provided chances to mix with each other, then it could be a valuable strategies to reduce prejudice and discrimination. One study has looked at the benefits of intergroup contacts. Let's review this theory. Wright et al. Worked on that in 1997. And what was the paradigm of that research? That they divided participants into two teams, and these two teams had to compete each other. अब यहाँ पर competition जो है वो create किया गया है, which is the basis of inter-group conflict. Then one person from each team participated in an exercise to promote friendship with one member of the opposing team. तो एक जो था वो हर टीम में से एक बंदे को ये कहा गया कि आपने फ्रेंडली टर्म्स करनी है दूसरी टीम के एक मेंबर के साथ. एंड देन एट ईच स्टेज ऑफ द एक्सपेरिमेंट द पर्सन वाज आस्क्ड टू डिवाइड एन इमेजिनरी $500 बिटवीन द टीम्स. अब क्या हुआ कि दो टीमों में डिवाइड किया गया, ए और बी. आप कह सकते हैं कि ये भी एक आर्बिट्रेरी सी डिवीजन है. और उसके बाद एक मेंबर को कहा गया कि आपने फ्रेंडली टर्म्स जो हैं वो दूसरे टीम के मेंबर के साथ क्रिएट करनी है. और हर जो स्टेज थी, ये जो अभी डिफरेंट स्टेजेस का मैं जिक्र कर रही थी, इस स्टेज में उन्होंने एक इमेजिनरी जो अमाउंट थी वो डिवाइड करनी थी अपने ग्रुप के लोगों में और दूसरे ग्रुप के लोगों में. So what was the effect of that strategy? The results are shown in this graph, and you can see the 3 stages. And what happens after each stage? That in the first stage, which was after team building, जब team was divided into 2 groups, ये arbitrary division है, A और B में divide कर दिया गया. And then what happened that much amount, ये जो भी आपको नजर आ रही है ग्राफ में, that was divided to own team. इतनी ज्यादा जो थी वो अपने ग्रुप के लोगों को दे दी गई. What happened after the second phase? And what was the second phase? That they were competing each other. दोनों टीमों का आपस में मुकाबला करवाया गया. And as I said before, intergroup conflicts are created because of intergroup competitions. तो competition के बाद सूरत हाल देखिए कि the amount that was given to own family इस सेंस में कह रही हूँ कि फैमिली मेंबर्स की तरह से, जिस तरह से वो एक दूसरे को परसीव करते हैं, own group members, तो वो कितनी ज्यादा बढ़ गई है. And then there was a third phase when a person was asked to have a friendly terms with some member of the other group, and then the rewards given to one's own team were reduced considerably. So you can see कि ये भी होता है कि अगर आपके ग्रुप का एक शख्स जो है वो किसी और ग्रुप के साथ दोस्ती कर ले, तो other members would also develop some positive feelings toward the other group. The reason is because you are associated with that member who is a part of your in-group, or that person is friendly with another group, so that creates a difference in your feelings also. As I said before, Alpert presented that theory of contact, that if contact is increased between different outgroups, then there is a chance that there could be some reduction in prejudice and discrimination. After 30 years of Alpert's presentation of that hypothesis, more work was done. And several studies pointed out that it is not only contact which is important in reducing prejudice and discrimination, it is much more than that. There should be certain conditions which should be fulfilled when that contact is made. तो अकेला contact जो है वो काफी नहीं है, बल्कि कुछ और conditions जो हैं वो भी fulfill होनी चाहिए for the reduction in prejudice and discrimination. So let's see what are these conditions which are presented by the later theorists. First is that social norms should favor equality, and they must be in place, that they must be implemented and in practice. Second is that there must be sustained close contact between intergroups. The third is contact must occur under conditions of equal social status. ये बात पहले भी हुई है कि social status is very important source of creating conflict between groups, and it is a very important social source of prejudice and discrimination. तो इसका मतलब ये है कि ये equal social status के लोग जो हैं वो एक दूसरे के साथ contact करें. The fourth one is that the contact must be in the form of cooperative interaction rather than competitive interaction. अब इन चारों जो conditions हैं इनका तफसीली जायजा लेते हैं. First is social norms. आपने एक लेक्चर में ये पढ़ा था कि हमारा जो attitude है और हमारी intentions जो है they determine our behavior. So if we have intentions to carry out that attitude, that behavior, तो फिर हमारे attitude और behavior में consistency होती है if we have developed some intention to work on that attitude. तो social norms जो हैं they also determine intentions. So if social norms are in a particular direction, तो हमारी intentions जो हैं वो भी change हो जाएंगी. So it is very important that this work about the equality of human beings should be practiced as a social norm in a country. So the social conditions should all promote equality. और social conditions कौन सी हो सकती हैं? They could be related with different facets of life in one country. They could be related with different organizations in one country. For example, schools, law, government, NGOs, they all should promote justice and equality. So they should be working together in an integrated way. तो जब social norms एक culture में, एक मुल्क में बने हुए होते हैं, तो it is expected that other people will also be behaving in the same way. अगर workplace पर, for example, supervisors direct their subordinates that no such behavior will be tolerated which could indicated any kind of prejudice or discrimination on the basis of physical characteristics, race, color, or gender, then there is a chance that their employees would not be indulged in these kind of activities. Similarly, if political leaders show from their attitude that inequality is not acceptable and they support equality and justice, so there is a great chance that other people would also follow that particular line. In this reference, I would like to talk about cognitive dissonance theory again, that was presented, as you know, by Festinger in 1957. आप काफी हद तक अब जानते हैं what does that theory maintain, लेकिन उसको अब हम prejudice और discrimination के हवाले से देखते हैं. So this theory states that when attitudes are not in line with behavior, this causes an unpleasant internal state. You are well aware of that. And then people are motivated to avoid this dissonance. So attitude change occurs, and changing attitude is in line with behavior. So when there is a discomfort feeling, then usually it happens that people change their attitude to have a consistency with the behavior. So what it has relevance to the social norms? It follows that laws which prevent discriminatory behavior can therefore eventually lead to changes in attitude. So if social norms are stopping us from indulging in discriminatory behavior, then you will be having a cognitive dissonance experienced if your attitude is discriminatory. The second condition which should be met for social contact to be useful is sustained close contact. Studies conducted in 1940s and 1950s have determined the effectiveness of this particular condition. Studies which have been conducted in Finland, UK, Netherlands and Germany, they have pointed out that intergroup friendliness and intergroup friendship could actually reduce blatant and subtle kind of prejudices. But the thing is that the contact must be of sufficient frequency, duration and closeness to allow the development of meaningful intergroup relations. अब ये जो कांटेक्ट है वो सिर्फ एक सादा कांटेक्ट नहीं है. इट शुड बी ऑफ अप्रोप्रिएट ड्यूरेशन, ज्यादा मुनासिब वक्त के लिए लोग एक दूसरे से मिलें. इट शुड बी ऑफ अप्रोप्रिएट फ्रीक्वेंसी. एंड कुक सेड इन 1978 that it actually means acquaintance potential. It means that you should be knowing each other. यानी इतना ज्यादा कांटेक्ट जरूर हो कि people are able to know each other. एक proverb है that you can judge another person, you cannot judge another person until you have walked a mile in his moccasins. इसका मतलब क्या है कि आप किसी शख्स को ऐसे ही एक दफा देखने से जो है वो जान नहीं सकते, unless you have spent some time with that person, या आपने उसके साथ कुछ एक्सपीरियंस किया हो तो तब आपको उसके बारे में पता चलता है. So the contact shall be only meaningful according to the theories of later researchers if it is for a sufficient time and of a sufficient duration. And then the advantage of contact is that it could be helpful in reducing bias which has been created by media portrayal. कि media जो portray करता है कि बाज़-औक़ात हम देखते हैं कि media is bombarding on some issues which could really lead to problems which are related with prejudice, or we become inclined to have a discriminatory behavior towards certain member of some social group after listening to media. तो इससे media portrayal जो है उसमें उसका जो advertisement होती है या propaganda होता है उससे भी निजात मिलती है when we have a direct contact with a particular social group. And there is another thing that the close contact will lead to generalizations of the increased positive attitude toward the individual to the group as a whole. And Cook mentioned that in 1962. इसका मतलब ये है कि when we have a close contact with one person, let's say, तो उसके जो positive traits हैं which I have seen, I would generalize it with the rest of the group. और अगर आप एक social group के साथ करते हैं तो आप उसके जो बाकी मेंबर जिनके साथ अभी नहीं मिले हुए, अगर आपका एटीट्यूड चेंज हो जाता है, then your attitude which is now positive would be directed and generalized toward other members of the group. It has been seen that there is a tendency in schools now that rather than segregating children on the basis of their nationalities, on the basis of their race and basis of their IQ, they should be desegregation. यानी उनको ये ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि separate schools हों एक particular community के लिए, separate schools नहीं होने चाहिए एक particular nationality के लोगों के लिए, और अगर उसके बाद जब जो schools हैं they are desegregated, segregation की बजाय जो है वो हर तरह के बच्चे जो हैं वो एक स्कूल में, पब्लिक स्कूल्स में आने चाहिए. और इसके बेनिफिट्स पे बहुत ज़्यादा रिसर्चेस भी हुई हैं. लेकिन ये भी देखा गया है कभी कभार कि बाज़ औक़ात ये होता है कि पीपल और चिल्ड्रन हु बिलोंग टू डिफरेंट रेशियल ग्रुप्स, दे मेक अ ग्रुप इन द स्कूल. जैसे कि ये जो वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज हैं या ऐसी सोसाइटीज हैं जो मल्टी कल्चरल हैं, वहां पे ये देखा गया है कि ऑल्दो देयर इज डिसेग्रीगेशन पॉलिसी प्रेवलेंट इन द स्कूल्स, उसके बावजूद कई दफा ये देखा गया है कि बच्चे जो हैं वो अपने अपने ग्रुप्स जो हैं वो स्कूल के अंदर बना लेते हैं ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ रेशियल सिमिलैरिटीज. और उसकी वजह ये होती है कि वी हैव स्टीरियोटाइप थ्रेट, और उससे बचने के लिए हम अपने ग्रुप के साथ एसोसिएट होना ज्यादा पसंद करते हैं. सो नाउ द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इज ऑफ स्कूल पर्सनल दैट दिस सेग्रीगेशन विच इज विद इन द स्कूल शुड बी फिनिश्ड, और उसकी बेसिस पर जो है वो बच्चों को इकट्ठे बिठाया जाए, नेशनैलिटीज के बच्चों को इकट्ठा बिठाया जाए. और इसीलिए ये कोशिश होती है जो मॉडर्न तरीके पर स्कूल अमल करते हैं कि वहां पर जो इंटेलिजेंट बच्चे हैं उनको भी एक कोने में अलग बैठने नहीं दिया जाता, बल्कि पीपल हु आर चिल्ड्रन हु आर मीडियम इन देयर इंटेलिजेंस एंड children who are superior in intelligence, they should be mixing together as far as seating arrangement is concerned. मुझे अपनी एक मिसाल याद आ रही है when I went to do PhD in University of Birmingham in UK. तो वहाँ पर कमरे डिसाइड हो रहे थे पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, तो मुझे भी एक स्टीरियोटाइप सी थ्रेट यकीनन होगी बिकॉज आई वॉज न्यू देयर एट दैट टाइम इन द बिगिनिंग. तो मुझे उन्होंने पूछा कि आप किस कमरे की कोई आपकी चॉइस है तो बता दें. तो एक कमरे में देयर वाज वन चाइनीज गर्ल, वन पाकिस्तानी गर्ल एंड देयर वाज वन Afro Caribbean girl. So I said that I would rather stay there. अब उसकी वजह एक और चीज भी मैंने एक पिछले लेक्चर में मेंशन की है, दैट इज इन ग्रुप होमोजेनिटी इफेक्ट. तो मुझे ये लग रहा था कि ये हम सारे जो हैं वो ओवरसीज हैं, तो हम एक ग्रुप बनाते हैं. So these are my kind of people, these are new to country. And then the person who was allotting rooms to us, he said that we do not normally recommend this, कि all people who are from overseas countries, they should stay together, and the reason is that English is their second language, and the other reason is that then they will not be mixing with the natives. So they said that we recommend that you stay in another room where there were two British girls. I said that okay, and then later I found out that it really was helpful because I communicated with them, and initially I will admit that I had some stereotypes in my mind when I went to do PhD in UK, and somebody told me that एक इंटरेस्टिंग सी बात आपके साथ शेयर करती हूँ कि यहाँ पाकिस्तान में मुझे कुछ लोगों ने कहा कि ये लोग जो हैं वो नहाते नहीं हैं, बस परफ्यूम लगा लेते हैं जब सुबह उठते हैं. So I had that kind of stereotypes. They are smelly, they are ugly, or many other kind of stereotypes. And then I had a stereotype threat in me also because I would be perceived negatively. And later when I went to attend a conference with some of the students at some other place, I found out that they were having showers daily. Some students were having showers twice a day. और ये बात जो थी वो सही नहीं थी कि ये लोग नहाते नहीं हैं और सिर्फ परफ्यूम लगा लेते हैं. So in that way, when you have a contact with the person and you have a proper contact, duration भी उसकी मुनासिब हो और frequency भी मुनासिब हो, then it helps to reduce many of the stereotypes which people could be having in their mind. अब एक और स्टडी है जिसका जिक्र करना चाहूंगी. That was conducted by Stephen and Rosenfield in 1978, and they showed that increased quality contact did lead to improvement of white Americans' attitude toward Mexican Americans. मेक्सिको और अमेरिका जो है वो एक साइड से उनका बॉर्डर साथ ही लगता है, बट दे हैव हॉस्टाइल फीलिंग्स टुवर्ड ईच अदर आल्सो. तो दे शोड दैट व्हेन दे वर हैविंग क्लोज कांटेक्ट then it was leading to reduction in prejudice. Another study which was conducted by Brown et al. in 2003 showed that in schools, if they have adopted a team sports policy, it could be used as an effective strategy for reducing prejudice and discrimination in schools. So what was that team sports policy? Team sports policy ये है कि आप कोशिश करें कि जो बच्चे हैं जब उनको खिलाते हैं, जब वो डिफरेंट गेम्स करते हैं, तो जो डिफरेंट नेशनैलिटीज के बच्चे हैं उनको उसमें शामिल करें. और ये ना हो कि एक टीम जो है वो बन रही है दैट इज अबाउट अमेरिकन्स, द अदर टीम इज ऑफ पाकिस्तानीज एंड द थर्ड टीम इज ऑफ इंडियंस एंड सो ऑन. अब कभी कभार इंटर ग्रुप मैचेस होते हैं, फिर तो ठीक है कि आप एक अपने मुल्क की नुमाइंदगी कर रही है एक टीम और दूसरे मुल्क की टीम जो है वो एक और है. बट यूजुअली व्हेन देयर इज अ जनरल प्ले इन स्कूल देन देयर शुड बी अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ ऑल काइंड ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स इन वन टीम. One study was conducted by Stephen and Stephen in 1984, and that study used correlational path analysis. Correlational path analysis का बहुत पहले आपके साथ जिक्र हो चुका है. Path analysis actually shows the directions of correlations, और इसके साथ ही ये भी पता चलता है कि which factors are causing what. तो कौन सा किसके साथ related है और उसकी direction क्या है. So the findings of their study showed that frequency and closeness of contact increased knowledge about the outgroup. अब outgroup के बारे में पहले step पर आपको knowledge मिली, and then that knowledge increased positivity of attitude toward outgroup. So this shows that it is very essential that you have a proper knowledge about the outgroup members. क्योंकि stereotypes जो होते हैं they are usually without a proper knowledge. Stereotypes are there. We get these stereotypes from our parents, from significant others, and they become a part of our self-concept. And whenever a situation arises without our intention, we behave in a particular way in the light of those stereotypes. So stereotypes जो है वो इसी तरह से बनते हैं कि आप फिर उसका फौरन इजहार कर देते हैं. And remember that the function of stereotype thinking is that they are rather quick. So when you would have a knowledge about one particular outgroup, then there is a chance that your attitude will change. Another factor is equal social status. Equal social status का पहले भी जिक्र आ चुका है कि the intergroups जो हैं, different groups जो हैं, they should have a contact with each other. और contact में ये बड़ा जरूरी है कि they should be of equal status. So the groups interacting must be roughly equal in social status. Alport said that it is difficult that people of having unequal status could have an equal relationship. और ये भी कहा जाता है कि only equals can be friends. तो अल्पोर्ट उसका एक तरीका जो है वो ये बताता है कि बेहतर है कि ये कर लिया जाए कि people who are of equal status in minority groups, they should have interaction. And people who are having the same status in majority or privileged group, they should have an interaction. तो इससे जो है वो majority group में conflicts और prejudice नहीं होगा और इसी तरह minority group में नहीं होगा. But one problem is still there कि फिर इनको कैसे mix किया जाएगा. ये जो majority और minority groups हैं, so they should have biases against each other. तो इसके लिए फिर बाद में बात करते हैं. So what is the policy here कि अगर जो हैं वो unequal status के लोग जो हैं उनको इकट्ठा रखा जाए तो क्या होता है? If the minority group has contact with the majority group as a subordinate, then this is likely to perpetuate negative stereotypes of inferiority. तो already उनका status जो है वो low है, उसके बाद आप उनको subordinate के तौर पर रख लें तो फिर ये जो stereotype negative जो inferiority का है आप उसको increase कर रहे हैं. So teachers in schools and supervisors at work conditions should avoid creating unequal status groups. अब ये वो मैं बात कर रही हूँ कि अल्पोर्ट ने कहा कि एक ग्रुप के अंदर जो है वो इक्वल स्टेटस के लोग इंटरेक्ट करें. बट व्हाट हैपेंस इन द स्कूल वेयर पीपल बिलोंगिंग टू डिफरेंट सोशल क्लासेस एंड अनइक्वल स्टेटस कुड ज्वाइन. बच्चे जो हैं उनका ताल्लुक जो है वो डिफरेंट सोशल स्टेटस फैमिली से है. तो फिर ये स्कूल पर्सनल का काम है कि there should not be any inequality on the basis of race, on the basis of color and on the basis of gender and similarly on the basis of intelligence. और उनके साथ एक्टिविटीज इस तरह से होनी चाहिए कि सब बच्चे मिलकर काम करें. Another factor which is important as far as contact between intergroup and contact between different groups is concerned is intergroup cooperation. हमने एक पिछली स्टडी में देखा, जो हमने पिछले लेक्चर में डिस्कस की थी, शेरिफ की स्टडी, दैट कोऑपरेशन वाज नेसेसरी फॉर रिडक्शन इन बाइस। तो ये देखा कि व्हेन two groups were having simple contact, like they were watching movie together, they were eating together, it did not help in reducing prejudice. What helped in reducing prejudice and ultimately discriminatory behavior actually was mutual activities and then working for a shared and mutually agreed goal. तो जब उसके लिए आप मिलकर काम करते हैं cooperatively, but you remember when the two groups were working competitively, then it did not help. Then it gave rise to hostility between the two groups. So what happens when we are working together? और जब दो आउट ग्रुप जो हैं, वन आउट ग्रुप और एक इन ग्रुप जो है, वो मिल के काम करना शुरू करते हैं, तो क्या होता है? जब मिल के काम करते हैं तो देयर इज अ सेंस डेवलप्ड विच इज ऑफ वन ग्रुप. सो कॉग्निटिव रिकैटेगराइजेशन ऑफ वन अनदर is merged into one in-group. One work was done by Blanchard et al. In 1975, and they showed that cooperation works best when the outcome of the superordinate goal is successful. When the result of some activity is positive, and when you achieve your goal, then cooperative activities are more helpful. और उन्होंने ये देखा, जो ये रिसर्च इन्होंने की, उसमें ये देखा कि white people had more favorable attitude toward a black co-worker if they could be successful in achieving their mutual goal. तो सक्सेस के साथ भी बहुत ताल्लुक है, क्योंकि अगर आप एक म्यूचुअल गोल को फॉलो करना चाहते हैं और आप उसको हासिल नहीं कर पाते, इसका मतलब ये है कि यू आर हैविंग फेलियर इन अचीविंग ऑफ दैट गोल. तो फिर क्या होता है? द ब्लेम कुड बी डायरेक्टेड टूवर्ड माइनॉरिटी ग्रुप. आप ये कह सकते हैं कि इट कुड बी वर्किंग एज अ मॉडल ऑफ स्केपगोटिंग, कि फिर स्केपगोटिंग के लिए भी तो कोई चाहिए होता है. वन स्टडी इन दिस डायरेक्शन वाज कंडक्टेड बाय वीगल एट अल इन 1975. वीगल एट अल वांटेड टू सी द इफेक्ट ऑफ ट्रेडिशनल टीचिंग मेथड्स वर्सेस कोऑपरेटिव टीचिंग मेथड्स इन डिसएग्रीगेटेड स्कूल्स. डिसएग्रीगेटेड स्कूल्स का पहले जिक्र कर चुकी हूँ, जिसमें एक ही कम्युनिटी, एक ही नेशनैलिटी या एक ही जेंडर के बच्चे नहीं होते, हर तरह के बच्चों को एडमिशन दिया जाता है. सो व्हाट दे डिड, दे वर्कड विद जूनियर एंड सीनियर हाई स्कूल चिल्ड्रन फॉर दैट स्टडी, एंड इन दैट स्टडी देयर वर 60% white, 20% African Americans and 20% were Hispanic. So in traditional teaching classes there were नॉर्मल काइंड ऑफ कॉम्पिटिटिव बिहेवियर, जो आम क्लास में होता है कि भाई जो बच्चा अच्छा कर सकता है वो करे और बाकी अगर कोई पीछे भी रहता है तो रह जाए. इट डिपेंड्स ऑन योर इंडिविजुअल एफर्ट. व्हाट वाज द डिफरेंस इन कोऑपरेटिव क्लासेस? इन कोऑपरेटिव क्लासेस स्टूडेंट्स वर्क इन रेशियली मिक्स्ड टीम्स ऑफ 4 to 6 स्टूडेंट्स एंड कोऑपरेटेड एज अ ग्रुप ऑन ऑल असाइनमेंट्स. यानी एक जो ट्रेडिशनल क्लास है उसमें तो ये होगा ना कि आप फ्रेंडशिप की बेस पर अपने ग्रुप्स बना लेंगे, और हो सकता है कि जो 6 बच्चे हैं वो एक ही नेशनैलिटी से ताल्लुक रखते हैं, वो अपना ग्रुप अलग बना लेते हैं और वो कहते हैं कि जी हम काम मिलके करेंगे. आमतौर पर यही तरीकाकार होता है कि आप कहते हैं जी आप अपनी मर्जी से बच्चों को कहते हैं ग्रुप बना लो. इन कोऑपरेटिव ग्रुप चिल्ड्रन वर हैविंग टीम्स विद ईच अदर ऑन द डिसीजन ऑफ द टीचर, और उसमें कोशिश क्या की गई थी कि हर तरह के बच्चे जो हैं वो शामिल हो सकें. 4 to 6 children would make one group and they will cooperate on all kind of assignments. अब ये भी उन्होंने अलग अलग नहीं करनी, in the form of group करनी है. And teachers in those studies were also ethnically varied. यानी वो cooperative situations में भी ethnically varied थे और traditional teaching situation में भी मुख्तलिफ nationalities के teachers काम कर रहे थे. इस ग्राफ में results देखिए. The results showed then that when traditional teaching method was employed, then there were a lot of conflicts across groups. Actually, that is the highest point where children would have conflicts between their groups. And helping behavior was considerably less. बल्कि ज़्यादा conflict था और helping behavior जो बच्चों में था वो बहुत कम था. As compared to that, when they were working under cooperative conditions, then conflict reduced and helping behavior increased. So we can conclude from this experiment that cooperative activities and working in cooperation could be much effective than in a competitive way. And maybe you would have noticed that some schools who are working in a modern way in Pakistan are also adopting this policy, and they do not try to induce competition between children. उसके बजाय जोर ये होता है कि आप ग्रुप वर्क करें और मिलके करें, और कोशिश की जाती है कि सारे बच्चों को encourage किया जाए whether they are intellectually bright or not. Some researchers have found some problems with the contact hypothesis. वो problems क्या हैं? Let's review them. First thing is that sometime mutual intergroup anxiety is created. अब ये mutual intergroup anxiety जो है वो दो ग्रुप्स में कैसे क्रिएट हो जाएगी? When there is a minority and majority, तो ये anxiety कैसे पैदा होती है? Because there is a threat, stereotype threat in minority, और जो majority का member होता है वो सोचता है कि उसके जहन में भी ये बात होती है कि ये कहीं मेरे जहन से कोई, मेरे मुंह से कोई गलत लफ्ज ना निकल जाए. तो sometime majority member is having some apprehension कि he or she may not say something which would not be liked by the minority group member. तो उसकी वजह से वो एक जो है वो एंजाइटी सी पैदा हो जाती है. And minority group is having a threat that the other person would say something which would be negative. And then it can lead to a protective self-presentation style. Protective self-presentation style क्या है कि dominant group members talk less so that they would not say anything offensive. And when they talk less, minority groups take it as a hostile attitude. और इससे फिर यह होता है, it's a kind of backfire instead of reducing prejudice. Another problem is generalization effect. If you are having a contact with the minority member, तो कभी कभार ये भी हो सकता है कि उस ग्रुप की शख्स की कोई ऐसी बात आपको कोई नेगेटिव लगी है, and then you can generalize it to the whole social group to which that particular person belongs. और उससे generalization effect से जो है वो एक और problem जो है वो खड़ी हो जाती है, which is category based prejudice which is created. So contact will only reduce bias according to some studies if the individuals are highly typical members who cannot be subtyped away from the group so easily, and that work was done by Wilder in 1984. So in 1984 Wilder suggested that contact will only reduce prejudice if you are having contact with the typical member of the other group. उसकी बजाय अगर उसकी कोई अपनी खास किस्म के खसाइस हैं तो उससे further stereotypes जो हैं वो पैदा हो जाएंगे. So the conclusion is that it is overly complex hypothesis. Contact hypothesis पर सही तरह से अमल करने के लिए you have to fulfill many conditions. There are so many conditions under which contact must occur that it becomes unworkable. And this is the point of view which has been presented by a few researchers. So this was all about how we can create contact between different members of different groups, social groups, and that could be helpful in reduction in prejudice and discrimination. And we also talked that what are the conditions under which that contact should be arranged. Another question is that can stereotypes be monitored through recategorization? और ये मैंने आपसे पहले बात की थी कि बेसिकली दो तरह के तरीके हैं. एक तो ये है कि आप कांटेक्ट बढ़ा लें दूसरे ग्रुप के साथ, और दूसरा ये है कि आप अपनी थिंकिंग चेंज करें, और थिंकिंग चेंज करते हुए आप जो ग्रुपिंग है उसको भी चेंज करते हैं. सो यू रीकैटेगराइज पीपल into different dimensions, and this recategorization will actually monitor your stereotypes. There are two groups of people who have different viewpoints regarding the change in stereotype thinking. One group maintain that it is not possible to have a check on stereotype thinking. Fox in 1992 and West et al. In 2003 mentioned that stereotype thinking is an adaptive mental strategy that has allowed us to survive as a species. Yani stereotype thinking jo hai, according to them, is beneficial, and if it is not beneficial, it is at least essential for better human functioning. How is it related with better human functioning? Because if you have stereotype against other group, you will be working wholeheartedly for your own group. And so they maintain that in-group and out-group phenomena is essential. Moreover, it saves our cognitive resources, क्योंकि हम stereotype की base पर अपना फैसला जो है वो जल्दी से कर लेते हैं, and we keep our resources, cognitive resources, for other activities. But then there are other researchers who say that stereotypes can be monitored through categorizing and recategorizing people. Patricia Devine said that change is possible by conscious efforts. Patricia maintains that since stereotypes are developed in early childhood by our significant others, so whenever we meet people when we are adult, then we decide in the light of those stereotypes that are already in our mind, and sometimes we unintentionally behave in the light of those stereotypes. So इसलिए हमें we need special effort for changing our stereotypes, and we need rational and deductive thinking to reduce our stereotypes. So as far as recategorization is concerned, there are two types of recategorization. One is combination and the other is subtypes and individual uniqueness. Combination से मुराद ये है कि जो already out groups हैं उनको आप combine कर लें, बहुत सारे ग्रुप्स को या दो ग्रुप्स को एक ग्रुप में कंबाइन कर दें. अब जहां तक मल्टी कल्चरल सोसाइटीज का ताल्लुक है, उनमें यह देखा गया है कि जब लोग जो मुख्तलिफ नेशनैलिटीज और रेशियल ग्रुप से ताल्लुक रखते हैं, व्हेन दे मैरी ईच अदर, तो फिर बहुत सारे स्टीरियोटाइप्स जो हैं वो कम हो जाते हैं, बिकॉज आपका एक रंग का जो असर है वो भी खत्म हो जाता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ वाइट एंड ब्लैक पीपल मैरी विद ईच अदर, तो द रिजल्टिंग जनरेशन कुड बी ऑफ ब्राउन कलर. तो उससे वो जो व्हाइट और ब्लैक का जो है वो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता वो है उसमें रिडक्शन आ जाएगी. What could happen in Pakistan? In Pakistan, people belonging to different Zaat and Biradari should not care about these categorization of Zaat and Biradari, and they should not hesitate in having intermarriages. As far as subtyping and individual uniqueness is concerned, we break existing categories into smaller and smaller subtypes. So let's review them कि इनका क्या क्या असर हो सकता है in reducing prejudice and discrimination. One study was conducted by Gertner et al. In 1993, and they presented a common in-group identity model. And they said that recategorization is done from a two-group, that is us versus them representation, to a one-group representation. What they did, they made a categorization of two groups. So two groups were formed on the basis of just arbitrary division. So two groups जो थे वो form किए गए, और they were two minimal groups formed. Minimal groups पहले जिक्र हो चुके हैं आपके साथ कि वो कौन से होते हैं. Minimal groups वो होते हैं जो कि just arbitrary basis पर decide कर लिए जाते हैं. And then these two groups were divided into two groups versus one group condition. एक ग्रुप जो था उसको तो उसी तरह से दो हिस्सों में अगेन डिवाइड कर दिया गया. जो दूसरा ग्रुप था उसको वन ग्रुप में मर्ज कर दिया गया, और उसके बाद जो थे पार्टिसिपेंट्स वर आस्क्ड टू ईदर सिट अराउंड अ टेबल इन अ सेग्रीगेटेड, दैट इज ए बी 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 पोजीशन और इंटीग्रेटेड ऑर्डर. जहां उनको कहा गया कि उन्होंने अपने अपने ग्रुप के लोग जो हैं वो इस तरह से, चार लोग फॉर एग्जांपल ए ग्रुप के हैं, चार बी के हैं, तो वो बैठेंगे तो इकट्ठे लेकिन अपनी अपनी जगह पर, यानी पहले एक ग्रुप बैठ गया फिर बी ग्रुप बैठ गया. या उनको कहा गया कि उन्होंने मिक्स होके बैठना है, एक ग्रुप का बंदा फिर दूसरे ग्रुप का बंदा, एंड देन सो ऑन. एंड देन दे वर आस्क्ड टू बी इंडल्ज इन प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग एक्सरसाइज which require either original segregated group decision or aggregated group decision. तो decision जो था वो या तो aggregated जो कि मिलजुल कर बैठे थे, और segregated जो अपना अपना ग्रुप बैठा था वो डिसाइड करेंगे. So the results are presented in two graphs here. First graph, which is on the left side, it showed how you evaluate in group and out group. When you are in segregated conditions, यानी एक एक ग्रुप इकट्ठा होके बैठा है, you are evaluating in group very highly and out group in a low manner. And if you are working integratedly, यानी इकट्ठे होकर बैठे हैं, then your evaluation of out group members improves a lot. दूसरी सिचुएशन इसमें देखें कि जब हमने टू ग्रुप्स को रहने दिया अलग अलग, और एक सिचुएशन वो थी जहां के दो ग्रुप अलग अलग फंक्शन कर रहे हैं, और दूसरी सिचुएशन वो है कि व्हेन दे आर कंबाइंड इनटू जस्ट वन ग्रुप. सो यू कैन सी व्हेन दे आर सेग्रीगेटेड, देन टू ग्रुप रिप्रेजेंटेशन इज शोन इन येलो कलर और वन ग्रुप रिप्रेजेंटेशन इज शोन इन ग्रीन कलर. तो आप ये देख रहे हैं कि जब दो ग्रुप रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं और वो जो सेग्रीगेटेड बैठे हुए हैं, तो उनकी इवैल्यूएशन जो है वो बेहतर है वन ग्रुप की रिप्रेजेंटेशन से. बट व्हेन दे आर सिटिंग टुगेदर इन एन एग्रीगेटेड वे, देन द परफॉर्मेंस एंड इवैल्यूएशन ऑफ वन ग्रुप रिप्रेजेंटेशन इज बेटर. और वन ग्रुप रिप्रेजेंटेशन क्या है कि जब आप दो ग्रुप को एक ग्रुप में मर्ज कर देते हैं, सो दैट दे हैव अ फीलिंग ऑफ वन and just one group. Another study which was conducted by Gertner et al. In 1989 about the comparison between combination and subtype members. यानी अगर आप दो ग्रुप्स को एक ग्रुप में डिवाइड करें या फिर जो दो ग्रुप्स हैं उनको फर्दर उनकी ग्रुपिंग कर दें. So what happened there? Students first were divided into 2 3-person groups. तीन लोग थे एक एक ग्रुप में. And then both distinct groups displayed in-group favoritism and prejudice. So it was shown when they were divided into two groups consisting on 3 persons in each group, then they started behaving like in-group and out-group. और वो क्या थी कि they were showing favoritism for their own group and prejudice for the other group. And then researchers introduced 2 recategorization manipulations. In the first recategorization, combination method was employed. In the second, subtyping method was employed. In the first one, they persuaded the students as belonging to one group. So, ये किस तरह से हुआ कि तीन लोगों के दो ग्रुप की बजाय एक ग्रुप बना दिया गया 6 लोगों का. दूसरी सिचुएशन में क्या होता है? Other method emphasized individual uniqueness. 6 लोगों के 6 ग्रुप बना दिए गए. So they were divided into 6 groups, जिसमें uniqueness को promote किया गया. What were the results? Both types significantly reduced in-group biases. जब they were merged into one group or they were subdivided into further categories, then both methods reduced in-group bias. But individual uniqueness manipulation reduced in-group bias. What is the reason कि जब आप उनको 6 ग्रुप्स में डिवाइड कर देते हैं और फर्दर सब डिवीजन कर देते हैं, तो इन ग्रुप बाइस कैसे कम हो जाता है? पहले ये देखें कि इन ग्रुप बाइस है क्या. इन ग्रुप बाइस है कि व्हेन वी आर हैविंग इंटेंसिफाइड फीलिंग्स ऑफ लॉयल्टी टुवर्ड आवर ओन ग्रुप और प्रेजुडिस टुवर्ड अदर ग्रुप, बिकॉज दीज 2 मेंबर्स वर रिलेटेड विद द पर्सन सेल्फ. अपनी सेल्फ के साथ वो जुड़े हुए थे व्हेन दे वर पार्ट ऑफ वन ग्रुप. तो जब उनको अलग अलग कर दिया गया, देन दैट पर्सन कंसिडर्ड इट मोर इम्पोर्टेंट टू बी यूनिक. तो उनकी जो एफिलिएशन थी वो इन ग्रुप की वो खत्म हो गई. एक और फाइंडिंग थी. व्हाट वाज दैट? द वन कैटेगरी मैनिपुलेशन कॉज स्टूडेंट्स टू थिंक मोर हाईली ऑफ फॉर्मर आउट ग्रुप मेंबर्स. तो जो एक कैटेगरी में जिनको दोनों ग्रुप्स को कंबाइन कर दिया गया था, दे स्टार्टेड मोर फेवरेबली टुवर्ड द प्रीवियस आउट ग्रुप. और उसकी वजह क्या है? बिकॉज दे स्टार्टेड थिंकिंग फॉर्मर आउट ग्रुप ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ किनशिप, because the new kinship was created and new relations were created. और उन्होंने बल्कि इन ग्रुप जो प्रीवियस इन ग्रुप था उसको क्रिटिसाइज करना शुरू कर दिया. So in both ways we can say that both methods are effective in reducing bias and discrimination. The problem with these kind of techniques is that sometimes generalization happen, as I have mentioned before, कि अगर आप एक ऐसे मेंबर से मिलते हैं जब आपको इंडिविजुअल ग्रुप्स में स्प्लिट कर दिया जाए, तो एक मेंबर विच हैड अ पर्टिकुलर काइंड ऑफ बिहेवियर कुड चेंज योर एटीट्यूड एंड दैट कुड लीड टू birth of further stereotypes. Now, just for 2 minutes, we will be talking about applied social psychology lab. The question is, can we design programs that produce healing contact in real life social groups who dislike each other? So the answer is that arranging equal status, cooperative, intimate, pleasant contact in the pursuit of common goals between groups that are initially hostile to each other, that can be done. तो अगर हम कंपटीशन की बजाय स्कूल्स में, वर्क प्लेस में कोऑपरेटिव एक्टिविटीज पर जोर दें, एंड द कॉन्टेक्ट ऑफ पीपल शुड बी प्लेजेंट एंड पीपल शुड हैव म्यूचुअल एग्रीड अपॉन गोल्स, और उसके लिए सब लोग मिलकर काम करें, तो देयर इज अ चांस दैट देयर कुड बी रिडक्शन इन prejudice and discrimination. Moreover, common group identity at workplace should be promoted rather than segregation. यानी मिलके काम करने पर और म्यूचुअल प्रोजेक्ट्स पर जोर दिया जाए rather than promoting segregation between different separate groups. And this should be remembered that media and government support is very essential for promoting equality. Because social norms जब तक नहीं होंगे उस वक्त तक you can't expect a big change. So now let's review today's lecture. आज हमने क्या कुछ पढ़ा है? Today we will discussed can we reduce prejudice and discrimination, and we talked about two kinds of hypothesis. First was contact hypothesis and the second was recategorization. As far as contact hypothesis was concerned, that was initially presented by Alpert, and it simply states that people should have a contact with each other to reduce intergroup conflicts. But later researches showed that there should be certain conditions that must be fulfilled for that contact to be beneficial. अब ये conditions कौन-कौन सी हैं कि there shall be a sustained contact between people. एक आध contact से ये मसला हल नहीं होता because prejudice and discrimination are based on stereotypes which could be very long-standing. And similarly, there shall be social norms in practice in a country and community. क्योंकि अगर social norms नहीं होंगे तो people will not be indulged in that behavior which admires and which practices inequality. And then we also discussed that the contact must be cooperative rather than competitive, and then that should be between people of equal status. और अगर equal status उनका नहीं है तो जहां पर वो काम कर रहे हैं, पढ़ रहे हैं, या जो कुछ भी उनका वहां से किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से किसी इंस्टीट्यूशन के साथ लिंक है, वहां पर ये कोशिश की जाए कि इक्वल स्टेटस जो है दैट शुड बी मेंटेन्ड. एंड देन वी टॉक्ड अबाउट रीकैटेगराइजेशन ऑफ पीपल, कि जो कैटेगराइजेशन है बेसिकली दैट गिव्स बर्थ टू स्टीरियोटाइप्स एंड देन टू प्रेजुडिस एंड डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, कि आप उसकी रीकैटेगराइजेशन कर दें. So there are two methods as we discussed today of recategorization. One is that they are divided in fact into one group. उनको एक ग्रुप में merge कर दिया जाए so that intergroup conflicts are not there, and then they are indulged in cooperative activities. And the second was that they should be divided into subtypes ताकि वो जो intergroup और in-group और out-group का concept है वो खत्म हो जाए. So this was all about today's lecture, and remember today we talked about the prospects of reducing stereotypes, reducing prejudice and discrimination. अब हमारा ये जो टॉपिक है वो खत्म होता है. In the next lecture we will be talking about interpersonal attractions. अगले लेक्चर तक के लिए अल्लाह हाफिज.